You finally find the faint galaxy. The sky is clear, the telescope is steady, and for a few minutes, the whole evening feels perfect. Then you open your notebook and see a blank page. Date, location, maybe a line for notes. Nothing to help you remember which eyepiece worked, how the atmosphere looked, or what you should change next time. That blank page is not useless, but it is not a workflow either.
That is the opportunity hiding inside today's niche. Generic journals are easy to imitate. A purpose-built tool can become part of a hobbyist's routine. The observing log helps someone remember what they saw. The session planner helps someone improve what they shoot. Narrow does not automatically mean profitable, but a repeatable job is worth investigating. Welcome to KDP Low Competition Niches Daily. Today we uncover a fresh, high-potential niche with strong demand and low competition. Here's your Daily Edge.
Our focus is amateur astronomy with two related products. First, a deep sky observing log for visual observers using telescopes or binoculars. Second, an astrophotography session planner for people preparing, recording, and reviewing imaging sessions. They share an audience, but they solve different problems.
A visual observer may want fields for the target, date, location, sky quality, transparency, seeing, magnification, filters, visibility, and a sketch. An astrophotographer may need equipment setup, mount, camera or lens, focus method, exposure length, ISO or gain, frame count, guiding, calibration files, and processing notes. One book stays near the eyepiece. The other may be opened before setup and again at the computer. That gives you better research angles than simply searching for astronomy journal. Investigate phrases such as deep sky observing log, telescope observation log, Messier object log, astrophotography planner, imaging session log, and telescope setup checklist. These are starting points, not proof. Data does not lie, but weak data can still mislead you. Here is the fast validation method I would use. Search several exact phrases and close variations. Then collect a manageable sample of relevant listings. For each one, record the promise, price, page count, format, visible interior features, and useful review language. Do not treat a tiny result count as automatically good news. A market can be quiet because it is underserved, or because almost nobody wants the product. Now pressure test the evidence. Are buyers describing repeated use? Do they praise the layout, portability, target lists, or writing space? Do they complain that the fields are cramped, the print is hard to read, or the book is too generic? Those complaints are clues, not permission to copy. You are looking for a better job to be done, not a slightly altered cover. Score 5 areas from 0 to 5. Buyer intent, weakness in the competition, recurring complaints, pricing room, and your ability to create a meaningfully better experience. For a hypothetical observing log sample, imagine scores of 4 for buyer intent, 3 for competition weakness, 4 for recurring complaints, 3 for pricing room, and 4 for product improvement. The average is 3.6. That is a prototype signal, not a sales forecast. A score near 4 may justify a small prototype. Around 3 means investigate further. Below 3 usually means narrow the audience or move on. And here is the uncomfortable question. Would anyone use this twice? If the answer is no, you may have a decorative notebook instead of a useful medium content product. Disqualify the idea when nearly every relevant result is already a strong specialist product with excellent reviews and no visible weakness. Reconsider when buyers rarely mention using the books, when unrelated products dominate the search, or when the price leaves no practical margin after printing. Validation is not a ceremony that ends with a yes. It is a filter that protects your budget. AI can make this process faster, but only if you give it source material. Try this.
I will provide titles, subtitles, prices, page counts, descriptions, and review excerpts from astronomy logbooks. Organize them into buyer use cases, repeated praise, repeated complaints, and unverified assumptions. Quote the evidence where possible. Do not invent demand.
For interior research, ask, compare these competing interiors by workflow coverage, writing space, readability, equipment fields, planning fields, review fields, and navigation. Identify gaps that could be improved without copying wording, artwork, or page order. Separate directly observed features from recommendations. That last sentence is essential. AI can organize what you show it. It cannot magically verify a market.
Then ask AI to compare audiences. Create product briefs for beginner visual observers, experienced visual observers, and beginner astrophotographers. For each, list the recurring job, the most useful fields, likely confusion points, and a keyword cluster to validate. Mark each item as observed evidence, reasonable hypothesis, or an idea requiring testing. Keep those categories separate. Assumption is not evidence wearing a confident voice.
Suppose the research points toward beginner visual observers. What should the pages actually do? Start with date, location, start and finish time, equipment, sky conditions, moon information, and target. Add magnification, filters, visibility, structure, color impressions, and space for a sketch or free-form notes. Include a target reference and an index only if they genuinely help the user find and review past observations. A good spread should answer 3 questions. What did I see? Under which conditions? How can I find it again? Every repeated page should earn its place. Decorative stars are fine as accents, but they cannot replace writing space, readable contrast, or a clear sequence.
For the astrophotography planner, begin with the objective, target, framing, season, and intended result. Then capture the planned equipment and settings. After the session, record what actually happened, including discarded frames, calibration notes, tracking problems, and processing lessons. Add 3 review questions. What worked? What failed? What will I change next time? That turns a log into a learning system.
Before publication, verify terminology with current astronomy references and manufacturer documentation. Ask an experienced hobbyist to review sample pages. Test the printed proof in the conditions where it will be used. A digital file can look fine on a bright monitor and still produce cramped fields or weak contrast in a dim observing environment.
Now run the numbers before you fall in love with the idea. Imagine a $14.99 paperback with a hypothetical print cost of $5.50. Under one illustrative royalty scenario, the result could be near $3.49 per sale before advertising and taxes. That is not a promise. Check the current KDP calculator, then model a lower price, a higher print cost, and an advertising expense.
If the product only works under perfect assumptions, it does not work yet. Start with one audience. A beginner visual observer log may be easier to explain and test than a book trying to serve every astronomer. Expand later only when the evidence supports a photographer's planner, a seasonal edition, or a compact field version. Build a series from proven differences, not cosmetic changes.
You can test the idea in 48 hours. First, choose one audience and collect 20 relevant listings across several keyword phrases. Record the promise, price, format, page count, visible interior details, and recurring review language. Next, score the evidence and draft 10 pages that demonstrate one complete workflow from setup to review.
Then ask a hobbyist where the pages feel slow, confusing, or incomplete. Create a cover promise that says what the buyer can do. Plan, record, and improve every observing session is stronger than placing the word astronomy on a cover and hoping the category does the work. Test deep sky observing, telescope logging, and astrophotography planning as separate audiences before building the full manuscript.
Pressure test seasonality, technical accuracy, and audience size.
Use modular fields that remain useful across changing equipment and targets. Keep explanations plain. Avoid unsupported claims. Start with beginner to intermediate users if advanced astrophotography makes the audience too narrow. A specialized niche should feel focused, not fragile.
So the working checklist is this. Identify a repeatable astronomy workflow, study 20 relevant listings, capture prices and review language, score the opportunity, and use AI to organize evidence without inventing demand. Draft 10 useful pages, verify the terminology, test one keyword angle, and calculate the economics with current KDP information. Amateur astronomy is worth investigating because people plan sessions, use equipment, record conditions, review outcomes, and return to improve. That repeatable behavior is the product signal. If you want an evidence-led second opinion before investing in a manuscript, work with me on niche research, buyer language analysis, competition review, and product positioning. I will help you test the opportunity without pretending that assumptions are guarantees.
Publish smarter. Profit faster. That's your actionable niche for today. Apply it and watch your author business grow. See you tomorrow.